This is our first poetry brunch. We will have another one on Tuesday. And thank you all. What I wanted to do this when I came out with this poetry brunch, right? Or when I first thought about it, I wanted, where is my outline? I wanted to show people how to listen to poetry, right? There's never, we don't know how to listen to poetry. We don't know what we should be doing. There's a terrible cliche of poetry, right? The bongos, the black berets, the smooth talking and easy laid back setting, right? There's these cliches that we have of poetry, but poetry has since evolved to this exciting performance art that is being done nationwide, right? In Louisville, Kentucky, we are kind of lagging behind, but it's Kentucky, right? They say if the world ends, I'm going to Kentucky because I won't find out about it for another month, right? That's
I think it's another year.
It's a year, right? You won't find out about it for another year. That's the same, right? So sad but true in many ways. So this is really kind of the kickoff, honestly, of our B.KIND weekend, or B.KIND week. B.KIND is a compassionate cities effort. So Mayor Greg Fisher, he signed up on a compassionate cities charter with about 34 other cities. What is it? It's like 30.
It's up to 300 now.
It's up to 300. Excuse my small 3. That's a bigger 3. So that many cities, right? It's like all these cities are all coming together and say, we're going to be compassionate, we're going to be deliberate on how we are compassionate to the people in our community. So it's really a wonderful thing. And we're going to start off being kind by being kind to poetry. You will never hear, I'm not going to say you'll never hear it, but you will rarely hear boos at a poetry slam, right? It's just not culture. It's just not allowed unless you're at the Apollo. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, they actually do some stuff, and they actually allow you to boo. You have to hit a cowbell. If you don't like the poet, you use a cowbell and you ring it real loud. It's really kind of funny, man. But people don't really never know how to appreciate poetry. So what I came up with is this idea, right? Just like wine, where you note. Hold on. This book. There we go. Yep. Just like wine, right? Have you been to a wine tasting before?
Sure.
Yes?
Nope.
Yes? Okay. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take the wine, you're supposed to smell it, right? You're supposed to twirl it in your glass, see the viscosity of it. Is that a word?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, there we go. See the viscosity of it. Sip it, you taste it, you mix it in your mouth, you gargle it, and then you spit it out, right? Or most of it is swallow. But you're supposed to do one or the other, right? With poetry, it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing as fine wine. Poetry is just like fine wine. When you smell it, listen to the pitch of the person's voice, of the poet's voice. Do you like that pitch? Does that pitch resonate with you? Does it smell good or does it smell bad? Pretty much, right? Twirling it around is like the cadence of the poet. Like the words, how they are speaking, where the breaks are, where the rhyme scheme is, if there is a rhyme scheme, if there's not a rhyme scheme, is the rhythm of the poetry pleasing to your ear, right? That is what you're supposed to do. And all of this, I meant to say, all of this should be done with your eyes closed. If you ever see me at a poetry function, I will have my eyes closed because I am trying to totally take in what is being said on stage. So that's where the sipping comes in, the sipping it. Sipping it is the word choice. Like, if I say that I am mad, that's kind of plain and straightforward. If I say that I am hot, does that infer more than mad or less than mad? Somebody?
Doesn't have to be mad.
Right. Definitely more than mad, right? So it's all about word choices. You mix it in your mouth. Sentence choice, like how the sentence is structured. You gargle it. Emotional transference, like are the words and the sentences being said conveying the correct emotion. If I say I'm mad, and you feel nothing. If I'm performing, I say, I was hot! Then the emotional transference is given. And then the end of the poem, spit it out. So it's like you now have the poem and you let it go, right? Poetry can be the deepest part of us. Poetry is the reflection of some of the deepest parts of us. And because of that, we often empathize with the poet when they're doing poetry. So sometimes we'll keep that poem on our heart. That's where you get people say, oh, your poem made me cry. You know, they kept it on their heart. But it's poetry. It's meant to be that 3-minute soap opera to get you in your feelings and then immediately come out. So you have to cleanse your emotions afterwards, or else you'll just kind of go home and write your own sad poetry. We like to practice this listening of poetry. How many of us know about haiku? Haiku? What is a haiku?
Three lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5, 7, 5.
Yes, very nice.
Beats.
3 lines, 5, 7, 5. 17 syllables all together. 5, 7, 5. 5, 7, 5. Well, you have note cards in front of you. If you all could, please, on those lines, write 5, 7, 5 down the note cards. Please and thank you.
Okay.